So the Black is available again. This is a ship that's been in the game for quite some time, but hasn't been available to purchase for quite a while. And I really don't recommend this bundle system for getting it. It's going to come out in a few weeks for some coal. So you're going to be getting it for probably a similar amount to the Nustra Shimmy. It's pretty expensive for coal, but keep in mind, before this, the Black was a steel ship. And even before that, it was actually a ranked reward. So you actually got it for having rank 1 in 5 separate seasons. And this was way back in the day before there was gold or silver or bronze league. It was a little different. And it was a little bit challenging to get. It took a lot of time, mostly. But if this is a ship that you're interested in and you don't have it yet, and you don't have a lot of coal, well, you're going to have to buy some tokens. You're going to have to play this web campaign here. You're going to go through and do some of these missions here to unlock a special commander. You receive these missions here, which then give you a task to complete in-game. And once you've completed through this campaign, you're going to be awarded with a commander, as well as some special currency. And that currency can be used to purchase those sequential bundles. So here we can see the missions that I'm currently working on here are for, torpedo hits, something like that, incapacitations with specific ship nation types. And you can see you're getting a few Pacific tokens here and there. And at the very end, you're going to get a nice boost of, I believe, around 2,500 tokens as well. Of course, you're not going to receive the Black here without spending some money. So I don't exactly see the doubloon cost here, but I would guess it's that 20,000 doubloons at the very end of all this. And you can see how much, the tokens increase quite a bit as we go on. You get a pretty cool camo as well alongside with this campaign, and I believe that is exclusive to this. I haven't seen the availability of that camo outside of it, so a bit of exclusives. Personally though, I would definitely recommend waiting for it to be available for coal, since that's a resource that you just collect every day playing the game. Now, to talk about why you should want this ship, well, it's the best ranked destroyer in my opinion. This combination of smoke and radar with excellent DPM just has so much impact on every single battle that it's in. Even ships like Mogador really don't stand a chance at close range. Of course, that ship, if it's kiting and baiting out this smoke and radar, is going to have a much better experience. But at this close range, just look at our reload. It's disgustingly good. And of course, this radar and smoke combo, it's almost like cheating. It's like a wall hack in a typical FPS game almost, and yet it's available for this destroyer. There's a good reason why, for the most part, you don't see smoke and radar on the same ship at the same time. It absolutely crushes destroyers, especially with good concealment. Of course, the torpedoes are just mediocre. They're incredibly slow, they hit really, really hard, and have an okay reload. They're zoning torps. I really only use them like this. If I think a ship is gonna come through a gap, I'll send some torps and just hope they hit. And they're pretty good for this. Honestly, sending them through a cap is a decent idea as well. As you can see, we're gonna get some decent hits here into the Iowa as he's trying to cap. But first, we actually end up getting a hit without hitting the Iowa. Yeah, we managed to connect one into the Fletcher. So even though I'm low health at this point, I'm very, very confident in pushing in, spotting this Fletcher, smoking up, using my radar gimmick to keep him spotted, and, well, that's going to be a dead Fletcher. This is the absolute strength of the Black. I think it is the most versatile, skill-intensive destroyer you can play in Ranked, since you are able to essentially just win games right off the bat. Killing a destroyer early on is a great way to secure victories. It's not as good of a carry ship as a ship like the Kitakaze or Mogador, where you're going to be able to farm out those higher value, higher HP targets a little bit better, but the DPM is no joke here either. You're going to notice just how good this damage per minute is out of the main guns. The problem really just is that, well, they're floaty. They're hard to hit these shells at longer ranges, and a ship that relies on being at closer ranges, dealing with these high HP battleships and cruisers especially, are very difficult to take down for the Black. it becomes a bit of a challenge. So it's not this win every game type destroyer. It's a destroyer that specializes in killing other destroyers. And that's why I love playing it in ranked, since the goal is to win the game, not necessarily to have the most damage or the most XP. I want to win, so I want to take out the other enemy destroyers, contest cap zones, and win the game that way. And I've had great success with the Black. It's a ship I don't really play in randoms too much, but of course, anytime there's a competitive tier 9 mode, I'm definitely jumping in the Black. As for random battles, I would actually much rather just play a Fletcher, since I'm getting the same gunpowder, I'm getting the same excellent smokes, just getting better torpedoes. And in random battles, I don't feel like I need to solo kill a lot of destroyers very often, since there's other forms of spotting, a lot of other radar cruisers, there's even carriers in a lot of those random battles as well, where here we're not seeing quite as many. The last thing I really wanted to highlight is its utility as a support destroyer in ranked. It's not just a damage dealing carry ship, it's a support ship as well. So here we're going to lay a nice smoke screen for a Ochakov, and he's going to do some excellent work for carrying this game out. I, of course, am getting radared by the Donskoy, but since this ship is so maneuverable, it's actually very difficult to hit. It's quite small, its rudder shift is excellent, and the acceleration is just okay. One of the weak points, of course, is that you have a radar. You don't get a speed boost, so the speed juking can be a little bit tougher with this ship, but with its amazing rudder shift and turning radius, it's pretty easy to dodge a lot of salvos. And of course, Donskoy, with its shorter duration radar with longer range, means he's only going to get 2 salvos really into us here. And now that he's used up his radar, I can play much more aggressive. This is the benefit of knowing when a radar ship has used their radar. They can't spot you again for another 2 minutes or so while that radar's on cooldown. So I can push forward here, keep the Donskoy spotted, keep the enemy battleship spotted, and hopefully we're going to be able to push them out and win this cap. We do spot a Schultz out, and I swapped to the AP immediately. Of course, the AP is pretty good on a lot of these American destroyers, and into a Schultz, which is a very big destroyer, we're gonna get some massive damage in. But you'll notice I'm not getting greedy for damage. I instantly turn away, instantly angle as much as possible, and pop my radar. The goal here is to maximize our Ochakov as much as possible. I need to stay alive so that I can spot for him, whether that's spotting the DD here, or if it's spotting the battleships or the radar cruiser. So you'll notice I didn't do a ton of damage there, but our Ochakov gets the kill anyway. And that is the teamwork aspect. That's the support ship aspect that these American destroyers are especially good at, and especially if you have a radar. I smoked up my friendly cruiser, and then I was able to radar the enemy DD when they tried to smoke up to deal with us. It's a pretty disgusting combo and very good in ranked. It's hard to play though, don't get me wrong, this is not an easy ship to win ranked games, but if you're a very good or competent destroyer player in ranked, I can't really think of a better ship than the Black. The Donskoy, of course, now pops up on our side, again radaring us, and he's focused on us. He's not trying to deal with our smoked up cruiser or our battleships there either. They're trying to get us out of the game, and I can respect that. I would probably be doing the same. And, well, we know the Donskoy has now used his 2 shots, so all we have to do is really dodge the remaining battleship salvos, and we should be alright. The other thing that we know is that Donskoy has used up his radar, meaning we can smoke ourselves up now and farm him out. Our battleship is pushing in and spotting this Donskoy for us, and these guns, well, not amazing against cruisers because they don't pen the hull, they only pen superstructures, and since cruisers are pretty maneuverable and have relatively small superstructures, it can be difficult to hit. But opening up like this on the cruisers that make a mistake and push in is a great way to also support your team. Killing off this Donskoy quickly means our Bismarck hopefully can get angled and live a little bit longer. Now, of course, the last thing we can do is smoke tunnel our Ochakov in. This is an excellent tactic that is often used in divisions of people who are communicating with each other, but a lot of times cruiser players, especially light cruiser players in these ranked games, will know how to play with a destroyer who's smoking for them, spotting for them. It's a massive help for the cruiser player, and a lot of times as you get into the higher tiers of ranked, the player quality will go up. It may not seem like it sometimes in ranked, but it does. The player quality does go up, and there will be more people that are able to make use of these team play options. I haven't done too much damage in this game, but what we have done is completely stopped the enemy's strong side push. And for a lot of it, there was just 2 of us here. Our battleships were really slow to get in position, and we still managed to hold on and stall out and deal with this enemy strong push. And we win the game. Star earned, that is all that matters at the end of the day in a lot of these ranked games. And that's why I love playing the black in ranked. My base XP, pretty awful. But look at our Ochakov, top score. We supported him, and, well, we got ourselves a win. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Again, like I want to do in most games that I know there's not an enemy radar cruiser around, I'm pushing aggressively into capture zones because I know I can always smoke up and radar the potential enemy destroyer that's spotting me. Like now, the Unicum gets spotted by our radar. That's of course not our proxy spot at all. We're just spotting him with our radar because we can. We just have a button that spots anything within 7.5 kilometers, which is pretty nasty. And of course, we're resetting his cap and trying to take the C cap as well. If I see that the enemy team has their own radars, I'm not going to do this. This is way too aggressive if the enemy team has the capacity to spot me here. Look at how close I am to the enemy Georgia, for example. I can't play here until I know where the enemy radars are. When I don't have to deal with radar, I'm going to push aggressive like this. But I will wait and play passive like I did in the previous game until I know where those radar positions are and what ships I might have to deal with if I do push in aggressively. But for now, if there isn't a radar, well, yeah, we can just kind of run over most of the enemy destroyers that we're going to run into. And yeah, this rank session went pretty well. I was switching off between the black and the ZF6, and sometimes I would die a little bit early, but the black is just so good. As for the commander build, I recommend it's full gunboat. This ship is really amazing at contesting destroyers, of course, and I think maximizing that is the best way to build a commander. So we're using main battery and AA specialist, adrenaline rush, trying to pump up that DPM. Of course, we're running concealment to maximize our ability to use our radar, superintendent to get more smokes and radars at the same time, survivability expert, well, to survive a little bit longer in those close range DD engagements. That's the really big goal here. The black, of course, has massive battle impact, and I want to maximize that, so living a little bit longer is very useful. I'm even using Surveillance Radar Mod 1, as you can see. These radars last quite a while, just over 20 seconds, and that's more than enough with full reload build like this to get a ton of damage in on DDs. And like we saw, the torps were more just zoning torps. They're not too amazing. If you want a torp build, probably just go with a Fletcher instead. This is a dedicated destroyer hunter in my opinion. Decent support ship as well, and perfect for tier 9 ranked. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.